Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for checking out the channel. So just sitting here on a rainy day making some videos for YouTube, and I made a video on changing my water pump on my 89 Dodge D100 3-teen. So I figured I'd put that one out. Now, I did not record taking the water pump off of the truck, so I do apologize. It was about maybe 2 in the morning and I just couldn't sleep. I was thinking about how rusty that thermostat was and the radiator hoses, and I just couldn't bear to put everything back together the way it was with that old water pump. So I figured I'd go ahead and take everything apart. So I do apologize for not having the video on taking the water pump apart, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Just kind of unbolt everything until you can get to it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video.
You little shit, you. Damn, that partner. Another thing you're gonna want to do is get a dental pick and just kind of clean out these bolt holes and stuff, you know. Just get the dirt and grime that's built up over years out of there. That'll help you out a lot later when you're reassembling everything. There you mutt. Take some parts cleaner. Really let it work. Okay, so another thing I did is I wire brushed all the threads out of the bolts here, clean it up, and just did that with a little wire brush, you know. Clean out the threads the best you can, lube them up. I'll probably spray it with this PB blaster here, and then I'll throw some anti-seize on it when I go to put it in. That's pretty good. Alright, so I got the water pump, the new water pump ready. This is it right here. Go ahead and take the gasket, and got some Permatex gasket sealant. This is the high tack stuff, so it's going to work real quick. So I'm just going to throw some on here, then I'll throw some on there, and then I'll mate them together. Okay, so steps 1 through 6 here are just taking everything apart, boom, 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 draining everything, cleaning it all off like we did, comparing to make sure you got the right water pump before you put it in, and you want to make sure you turn that pump snout, you know. make sure it spins freely before you go putting it in, because you don't want to do all that and have a seized up pump. So it spins. So you see there, you want to spin it to make sure that it spins freely before you put it in. Set it right there. I'm going to wipe this surface with some parts cleaner real quick before I put the Permatex on. And the rest of the instructions just say, the most important I think is tighten the bolts gradually in an even staggered sequence. Tighten bolts to vehicles manufacturers. I can't talk. Alright, so I just got some old carb and choke cleaner because I didn't have any parts cleaner laying around. Spray this rag here, clean that surface, and then we'll do-dab it up with all the do-dabbins it needs. Okay, so I got the surface all cleaned off. Got most of the blue towel wiped off of it. That probably wasn't a good idea. Probably want to use a shop rag, not a cheap-ass Dollar General blue rag. Anyway, okay, so you can get this at the local parts store. It's gonna be a goopy mess that looks like that. Okay, and just take it, and without getting it all over your engine compartment, then you should honestly brush it somewhere else, but I don't have a camera stand that'll show anywhere else, so that's what we're going to do. Just brush it on. Alright, this stuff tacks up really quick like it says, so put this gasket on now. Oh shit, damn it. That sucks. I just spilled it right into the truck. And I have no time to clean it up right now. That sucks. Yeah, I spilt it all up in here, and we can't have that shit drying up. And the gasket's starting to dry up on the truck at the same time. Okay, there I go, and I'm painted the other side. Put that in there and seal that up before I drop it again. Ooh, that's some sticky stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to put some anti-seize on all the bolts that I'm putting in to make sure that, you know, they're not like this one here, and all the other bolts. I'll put them all on the bolts as I'm putting it in to make sure they don't get seized up. Alright. Bolt number 1. That's probably way too much anti-seize, but There we go. So now, whew. I don't know how I'm going to tighten it all evenly when I got to get all the brackets back together. I guess I didn't think of that. Shit. Alright, so I got to put this bracket in. Okay, so just, you know, press on it tightly and push it in kind of as you're turning the bolts by hand, just to make sure they're not cross threading and they're threading in nice and even how they should, and all that good stuff. Okay, so got the water pump in. I got a couple bolts started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I took that little bracket thing, that spacer thing that broke, and Gorilla taped it back together. I think it goes in here somewhere or something like that. Or like that. Yeah, I think it's like that. So now I'm onto that step now. The upper part has a wider part on this spacer right here. It's a little bit wider up here than it is on this side of it, down here. So you got to make sure that you put the wider piece back in, because this bracket down here for the power steering takes up a 1/4 inch. So okay, so to get the power steering pump on, I got to take the ratchet and the extension and stick it down there into the big square, so I could rotate this part and get it into the position need be. And of course, it's not wanting to go. What a pain in the rash. Okay, so trying to put this water pump in with this bracket was really hard. So I had to take the smog pump off, and I had to detach the power steering pump from the lower bracket to get everything up here to line up correctly. And when I seated this last night, I obviously couldn't get this bolt, and this bolt in, so I don't know how it's going to seal, but, I mean, it was a total mess. Like, I almost had a heat stroke. It was so hot out here, and I don't think this turkey basting light really helped a whole lot either. I mean, it helps see, but, you know, give me light and everything, but it definitely heated the back of my head up pretty bad, so I didn't finish filming that, but back at it again today, and I got that little spacer bracket here. Where's my little light at? Okay, so I got the little bracket there, the little spacer how it should be. Got the bolts here in the front how they should be. Got all the washers on them. And like I said, took the smog pump off to get the weight off of it so I can maneuver it how I needed it. And then the adjustment bolt on the bottom here of the power steering pump kept fighting me. So I can go ahead and tighten those bolts in. So that's what I'll do now. Okay, and so you see the key is to tighten it sequentially all the way around to seat the water pump. Alright, so there you go. Water pump's in. Hopefully my little mishap didn't mess up the seal on it and it won't leak. And unfortunately I won't know that until after I put everything back together and fill it with coolant and see if it leaks. But keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully I did a good enough job. I don't think I did a professional job, but a good enough job. Now, next time, you know, if I was a mechanic and this wasn't my first time doing one, I would definitely have all this, you know, lined up and ready to go. Would have, you know, without the gasket on, I would have stuck the water pump up here and made sure, you know, all my bolts can go in and out with no issue before I tried to, you know, put the Permatex on there and the gasket and all that stuff. So hopefully my mess up helps you out and you don't mess up the same way I did. But I think it's going to be okay. I mean, should be. So, and we'll find out.